You don't want to vote for Jill? Vote for Donald Trump. But do not give a vote to Kamala Harris.
Palestinians' names out of your mouth when you're trying to defend your decision for voting for Kamala.
Hello guys, and welcome back to our channel. Now in this video, I want us to take a look at the shocking truth which is finally sinking in for some Trump voters who thought he would save Gaza. Now they're realizing they made a grave mistake. A stunning revelation has come to light. Donald Trump is proposing a total clean out of Gaza's population, urging Egypt and Jordan to take in most of its residents. Now this move is likely to spark outrage among Palestinians worldwide. We all know that. As one palm-color man puts it, so many of you messed around and now you're finding out big time. He's specifically calling out those who voted for Trump or third-party candidates or didn't vote at all due to frustration with the Biden administration's handling of Gaza. Now, it seems these voters are now facing the harsh consequences of their decision. The irony is stark. Trump voters who thought he would bring relief to Gaza are now witnessing the exact opposite. Trump's comments on cleaning up Gaza come after he reportedly told Israel to wipe out everyone in Gaza. Now the hits keep coming in and it's clear that these voters are now regretting their choice. But hey, this is where we are and there's nothing that people can do right now. They just have to face the consequences. So with that said, let's take a look at these videos as different people share their thoughts on his proposal. I will be right back.
Wow, some of you people found and now you're finding out big time. And I'm specifically referring to you people who either voted for Donald Trump or voted for third party or didn't vote at all because you were upset because the Biden administration wasn't doing enough in Gaza and you threw a fit and voted for Trump or sat out. Take a look at this headline from the Financial Times. Trump proposes clean out of Gaza population. Ready for this? Donald Trump has urged Egypt and Jordan to take in most of the population of Gaza, saying it was time to, quote, clean out the territory in comments that are likely to outrage Palestinians and Arabs across the region. So good job, you people up there in Dearborn, Michigan and elsewhere, throwing your little hissy fit because Biden didn't do enough for the Arabs in Gaza. What do you think now? You know, Donald Trump told Israel that they should wipe out everyone in Gaza. Now he's talking about cleaning out everyone in Gaza. We tried to warn you people. Unbelievable.
And the hits just keep on coming. First of all, the unmitigated gall that he has to reach out to other countries to try and force them to take citizens from their own country because the United States is providing ammunition and that has totally destroyed their country. While he's trying to boot American citizens from their own country. Who's on first? Second, he says it could be temporary or it could be long term. It's going to be permanent. Third, it looks like a demolition site over in Gaza because of what Israel has done, because of the person that you are in partnership with. And we know why you want to get other countries to take Palestinians in. It's because you and Bibi and Jared are like this, and y'all got plans for that area. Beachfront property is what Jared said. You said it's a prime location. We know what you all have planned for Gaza. We warned American Palestinians here of what your plans for Gaza was. Yeah, but they sided with anti-blackness, they sided with misogyny and misogynoir just because you flew down and lied to them in their faces. Yeah, you told them that you would bring peace to the Middle East. You just didn't tell them how you were going to achieve that. But we knew, because, yeah, we've been reading between the lines for hundreds of years. We knew what it was that you had planned. Never mind the fact that you already told us what you had planned. Yeah, they sided with you even though during your first presidency, you instituted a Muslim ban. They sided with you even though you said repeatedly out there on the campaign trail that, you were going to reinstitute, you were going to bring back the Muslim ban. They sided with you even though you used the word Palestinian as a slur against Joe Biden. They sided with you. Yeah. Where are the protests? All of you that told people to vote for Donald Trump, that told people to vote third party or don't vote at all. Where are the protests now? Where are the protests now that he is openly and freely saying a lot of the things that he was openly freely saying when he was out on the campaign trail? Where are your protests now? Where are your videos now calling him beside Trump? Where are your dehumanizing labels for Donald Trump? Yeah, where is that? Y'all are silent. Y'all are silent. Y'all are either silent or now trying to get all of us to unify. But not one of you are talking about the things that Donald Trump has said since he's been elected to the presidency. Y'all are silent.
You know, I knew that Trump was going to be much worse on Gaza. Did not know it was going to be this on the nose. Like actually using the verb clean when he's talking about removing every Palestinian from Gaza. Like direct quote, you're talking about probably 1.5 million people. We just clean out that whole thing. And I really hope that we get some like apology videos, right? There were a lot of creators on here who said that Trump would be the same or even better for Gaza than Harris. I think that those people need to be apologizing already. And probably doing some deep reflection on how they could be so incredibly wrong.
Y'all see the news about Trump saying he wants to clean out the Gaza Strip entirely, and that he contacted the puppet king of Jordan saying that he wants to see him take on over 1 million Palestinians into his country. So what everyone has been saying all along, that this is a real estate play, was true all along. I mean, they're not even hiding it at this point, and these people are saying these things out loud at this point. Trump said, and I quote, "I want to clean out the whole thing." He said the whole thing is a disaster and people are there, and he just wants Arab countries to just take these people in, and that this change could be temporary or it could be permanent. What I don't understand is how we as human beings keep doing this to each other, and history keeps repeating itself, and we learn nothing from what's happened in the past. It's like we have amnesia every 15 to 20 years, and it just continues to happen over and over and over again. When the hell are we going to wake up? So we just take all of the Palestinians' land and just say it's demolished, so we just move everyone, move entire lines of generations from that place away to somewhere else? This is an absolute abomination.
This is what happens when a real estate guy takes over the most powerful country in the world. You see, the last company that was in charge of the maintenance of this place, the people who we took over from, they did a really bad job. And this place is a real mess. I mean, we got to move these people out of here into some neighboring area so that we can clear the space. This is prime real estate. This is amazing property. We're going to build it up, increase the real estate value of this place. We're going to sell it to some rich people. We just clean out that whole thing. Get this riff-raff out of here. I mean, don't get me wrong, we demolished it. It was us. We wanted to clear the whole space for a real good real estate project. The demolition has cost us $50 billion. Are we going to make that money back? I think so.
Could you move the rich white people out instead to a new place?
That would be just it. We wouldn't make any money on that. Yeah, it could be temporary or permanent. It's going to be permanent. Yeah, it could be temporary too. Sure.
Breaking news. Today, President Donald Trump said he wants to clean out the Gaza Strip. During a Q&A session with reporters aboard Air Force One today, Trump said that he'd like to see Jordan, Egypt, and other Arab nations increase the number of Palestinian refugees they're accepting from the Gaza Strip, potentially moving enough of the population to, quote, just clean out, end quote, the war-torn area to create a virtual clean slate. He said, quote, I'd like Egypt to take people. You're talking about probably 1.5 million people, and we just clean out that whole thing and say, it's over, end quote. Trump also said that in a call that he had earlier in the day with King Abdullah II of Jordan, he said, quote, I'd love for you to take on more, because I'm looking at the whole Gaza Strip right now, and it's a mess. It's a real mess, end quote. Trump said that the part of the world that encompasses Gaza has, quote, had many, many conflicts, quote, end quote, over centuries. He said resettling, quote, could be temporary or long-term, end quote. Trump also said, quote, something has to happen, but it's literally a demolition site right now. Almost everything's demolished and people are. So I'd rather get involved with some of the Arab nations and build housing in a different location where they can maybe live in peace for a change. This is not the first deeply concerning thing that Trump has said about the future of Gaza today. Earlier this week on Monday, he said that Gaza has to be, quote, really got to be rebuilt in a different way. Gaza is interesting. It's a phenomenal location on the sea. The best weather, everything is good. It's like some beautiful things could be done with it, but it's very interesting, end quote. I want to take a moment to point out how bizarre it is that he says some beautiful things could be done with it. Beautiful things are already being done with it. It's the home to 2.3 million Palestinians, and he doesn't have the right to suggest that anything else should be done with it. Israel destroyed the Gaza Strip, and Gaza should be restored as the home of these 2.3 million Palestinians, not turned into some sort of real estate project for Donald Trump. And earlier today, Trump resumed the delivery of 2,000 pounds to Israel after Biden halted their delivery in May 2024, citing concerns that they would be used to create significant civilian casualties in Rafah. Trump's choice of words and his suggestion that Gaza should be cleaned out is, to say the least, unbelievably frightening. To cleanse an entire people of their homeland because Palestinians existed centuries before Israel was even a state is nothing short of ethnic cleansing. Hundreds of thousands of Palestinians have already been forced out of the Gaza Strip and the West Bank due to Israeli settlement. To just push them out and say it's over, as Trump wants to do, is to completely invalidate and deny the centuries of history and the existence of the Palestinian people. To force all 2.3 million Palestinians out of the Gaza Strip and to cede the territory to either the US or Israel is to declare Israel's 15-month war. To force all 2.3 million Palestinians out of the Gaza Strip and cede the territory to either US or Israel is to declare that Israel's 15-month war on the Palestinian people has been a victory. Not only will Palestinians have suffered the loss of 47,000 people, including entire generations and entire families, they will also have suffered the loss of their history and their homeland. Remember that many members of Trump's cabinet don't believe in the existence of a Palestinian state at all and don't support a two-state solution at all. Overall, this statement and his phrasing and his desire to just clean out the Gaza Strip is incredibly horrifying and doesn't bode well for the future of US policy in the Middle East. This isn't the first time we've heard this rhetoric in history. Hitler said that the Nazi Party would bring about a revolution that would thoroughly clean out the Jews. Alfred Rosenberg also imparted upon Hitler the goal of cleaning up the Jews internationally, and Hitler also said to the journalist Joseph Hell, the same thing, meaning extermination, will be done in the other cities until Germany is cleansed of the last Jew. So obviously this rhetoric is not without weight and bears extreme significance for the future of the Gaza Strip. I think it's very, very difficult to overstate how threatening and how terrifying this is.
Now, according to Financial Times, Donald Trump urged Egypt and Jordan to take in most of the population of Gaza, saying it was time to clean out the territory, in comments that are likely to outrage Palestinians and Arabs across the region. I would like Egypt to take people, and I would like Jordan to take people. The US president told reporters aboard Air Force One, "You are talking about 1.5 million people, and we just clean out the whole thing." Now, Trump's proposal would append decades of US policy promoting the two-state solution based on the establishment of a Palestinian nation alongside Israel in Gaza and parts of the occupied West Bank. Now, Trump said he has already discussed his proposal to relocate Gaza's population with King Abdullah of Jordan on Saturday and will bring it up on Sunday in a phone call with Egypt's president. Now, with the ceasefire deal between Israel and Hamas entering its second week, Trump said Gaza was literally a demolition site. Almost everything is demolished and people are being unalived there, so I would rather get involved with some of the Arab nations and build housing at a different location where they can maybe Now, let's underline the word maybe, live in peace for a change. Now, Trump said a population transfer could be temporarily or could be long-term. Now, Amman and Cairo have since the start of the war in October 2023 repeatedly rejected any transfer of Palestinians to their territories, saying it would amount to the liquidation of the Palestinian cause at the expense of Israel's neighbors. Now, Jordan's foreign minister said in remarks cited by Reuters that the kingdom's rejection of any displacement of the Palestinians was firm and unwavering. He said the priority was to ensure that Palestinians remained on their land. Now, Egypt also made clear its rejection of Trump's Gaza proposal. The country's foreign ministry said Egypt rejected any attempt to undermine Palestinians' inalienable rights by annexation of land or by emptying this land of its owners through displacement or encouraging the transfer or uprooting of Palestinians from their land, whether that was temporarily or long-term. Now, Sisi has said previously that taking in Gazans would threaten Egypt's peace agreement with Israel because of the risk that some of them would resume fighting the Jewish state from within his country's borders. Hamas said on Sunday that Palestinians categorically reject any plans to deport or displace them from their land and called on Egypt and Jordan to stand firm against any such attempts. Now, senior fellow at Center for American Progress in Washington said such a transfer could be deeply destabilizing, particularly for Jordan, which already has a large Palestinian population, and potentially for Egypt to relocate Palestinians to the Sinai, for example, because it could mean conflict between Palestinian militants and Israel. Now, the two countries have weak economies and need U.S. support, but their leaders would not want to be seen to be complicit in what Arab population opinion would consider a second Nakba or catastrophe. Now, the exodus to neighboring countries of hundreds of thousands of Palestinian refugees in 1948, when the State of Israel was founded, it would outrage Arabs because the historical record is very clear. Every time Palestinians have been forced to leave part of Palestine, they never went back. Emptying Gaza of its inhabitants would not have any support from the Arabs or even internationally because it is the definition of ethnic cleansing. Such a move would undermine prospects of a normalization of relations between Israel and Saudi Arabia, long a focus of U.S. diplomatic efforts in the region. It would make it even more unlikely the deal would take place in the immediate future. Now, Trump's Gaza proposal nonetheless delighted leaders of Israel's far right. Finance Minister Bezalel Smotrich described Trump's suggestion as a wonderful idea, adding that only outside-the-box thinking over new solutions will bring peace and security. Now, the former Israeli National Security Minister who resigned in protest last week over the Gaza ceasefire deal praised Trump for floating the idea. Trump also confirmed that the Pentagon had lifted a hold on the delivery 2,000-pound bees to Israel imposed by the Biden administration. We released them today, and they will have them, he said. Now, the ceasefire agreement between Israel and Hamas was already under strain despite the successful release on Saturday of 4 female Israeli soldiers from captivity in Gaza and 200 Palestinian prisoners from Israeli jails. Israeli officials said over the weekend that Hamas had violated the U.S. brokered accord after it failed to release the last civilian woman hostage still believed to be alive before the soldiers. Now, Trump's comments come 15 months into the war between Israel and Hamas, which has reduced much of Gaza to rubble. Israeli airstrikes have damaged or destroyed around 60% of buildings, including schools and hospitals, and around 92% of homes, according to the UN. Approximately 90% of Gaza residents have been displaced, and many have been forced to move repeatedly, some more than 10 times, according to the UN. Trump's comments appear to break with decades of U.S. foreign policy, which has long emphasized a two-state solution for Israel and Palestine. There has long been a fear in the region that Israel wants to push Palestinians out of Gaza into neighboring countries, a premise Israel rejects but one supported by far-right factions of its governing coalition. Honestly, it's really heartbreaking to see Palestinians facing this dire situation. Many had felt let down by the Biden administration's handling of their concerns and voted for Trump, hoping for change. Instead, they are now confronted with a leader who has expressed extreme views, including wiping them out and relocating them. This is really sad, but it is happening. What do you, our viewers, have to say? Share your thoughts, your views, your contributions as well in the comment section. Thank you for always watching, and see you in our next video as we bring you another video.